The fun is beginning. Come, sit down. Get comfortable. Get ready. Woo! When they have taken our rights over our body and then they disbanded EMTALA to ensure that we will die and have died from these laws. When they are threatening our rights to vote. When the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 is running everything.
We are under attack from a fascist, racist, sexist agenda from the Trump administration. And we currently have a city attorney that decided to join the Republican Party three and a half years after the first Trump administration. That is unacceptable. With the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the clear agenda in Project 2025, it is clear what is being laid out. They are trying to make us a second-class citizens again.
For me, the hardest parts of watching The Handmaid's Tale were watching the flashbacks. Two, when they were desperately trying to hang on to some sense of normalcy, and they were hearing about the coup and the military actions, and then she tried to use her credit card. And the guy was like, no, it doesn't work because women can't have bank accounts anymore. And then she was flabbergasted and the guy cursed her out and kicked her out of the store. And living our authentic lives out in the open. That diversity is the fabric of democracy, woven together to make us stronger. From the attack, trans people, I didn't write that right.
Resignation from Harrell after he labeled their peaceful concert at Cal Anderson Park over the weekend an extreme right-wing rally. Then victim blamed the evangelicals for Antifa chaos and violence, implying they had it coming to them. As Johnson continued to pick apart the mayor's abysmal record in office.
Drug overdoses are up 89%. Property crimes, rapes, and violent assaults are all up.
He announced the White House was aware of what was going on in Seattle and would be taking swift action.
Serving a search warrant.
On cue, Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino posted on X, "We have asked our team to fully investigate allegations of targeted violence against religious groups at the Seattle con."
The word Trump and the word ICE in our news every single day until you just get weary and exhausted, and you cannot give up. Seattle has a unique way of uniting against messages of hate and division, like an army of kazoos performing Pink Pony Club at Gasworks Park. That's just one example. We can and will accomplish more powerful actions than a concert of kazoos, I think, in the coming months. That was just the least of what we could do.
In America, one misstep can leave you in financial ruin, disrupting your future and knocking you back to square one. Unless you have experienced the luck of being extremely unreasonably and unfathomably wealthy. If you are the world's richest man, you can exist in a ketamine-fueled stupor for the better part of 2 decades. Be a truly stupid, uncharismatic, and incontinent person, and you can still get government contracts, and you can be given a zip drive with the social security number of every single person who has ever lived or worked in the United States. Agreed.
Campaign that she's let me borrow clothing. The jacket I came with was blue, and I've since learned that that's not the best color for this event today. Okay. So, back in June 2022, Roe v. Wade was overturned. And at that time, I was 4 months pregnant. And later that summer, I went in for my 20-week ultrasound. And later that day, I got the kind of news that no woman wants to get. They're like, you need to come back. And I learned that there were many problems with the fetus. Heart, brain, spine, everything. And I made the very difficult decision to have an abortion.
And it was just about as heartbreaking and difficult as you might expect to have an abortion at 24 weeks. And I also felt so grateful that I was able to make that decision, because at that time, looking around the country, I was so aware that so many women in so many states were losing the right to make that kind of choice. And it's not just about rights, it's also about access and affordability. Because it's one thing to have the right to make a choice about your body and your family, but it's another to actually have access to the health care and to have that health care be affordable to you. And that is why it is so terrifying for women, for families, for people around the country. What is happening now? The defunding of institutions and programs like Planned Parenthood. Cuts to Medicaid that will leave people uninsured and without health care. This also is personal to me. I have relied on Planned Parenthood, especially at times in my life when I did not have health insurance. I have friends and family members who rely on Medicaid, who are on Apple Health here in Washington State. And the bottom line is that we cannot let people fall through those cracks. It is our responsibility here in Seattle, in King County, in Washington State, to ensure that whatever happens at the federal level, our residents have access to affordable, high-quality health care, and that includes reproductive health care. And we need to go further, because it is not just about reproductive rights and access to affordable health care.
How many allies do we have? Got some allies? Awesome. And we're all allies to some extent. I just want to throw an idea out there for the men in our group just to think about, is that what if we just stopped being allies? No more allies. And think about what that word means. It means optional. It means we're kind of backup for the people who really have skin in the game, who are really responsible for finishing or getting this job done. It always seemed amazing to me, like how did it happen that women became responsible for fixing a job?
That the patriarchy and gender roles hurt so many different people, not just women. It hurts men, it hurts trans people, it hurts every single person in that system. Just some food for thought.
Let's have fewer allies and more gender equity activists. Let's have fewer allies and more women's rights agitators. That's what we need. That's how we're going to solve this problem.
A quick question. Some in Seattle's black community are now calling you Shady Katie because your campaign falsely claimed that, Claude Perfect, endorsed you. Could you respond to that? Katie, how did that false endorsement happen, Katie?
Hey, don't block them. Don't block them. Don't block someone in the chat. Come on. No, but why are you harassing a woman? She holds a small child.
She is a mayoral candidate. She is a mayoral candidate.
Holding a small child and you're harassing her. Do you feel like that's socially appropriate behavior?
Are you a man or a woman?
Do you feel it's appropriate for?
All right. So basically, Katie Wilson is being protected by the trans mafia here.
To harass a woman while she's holding her small child. Answer yes or no.
Hi.
Is that
This isn't okay. This isn't okay, sir. This isn't okay, sir.
All right. So basically, Katie Wilson doesn't want to answer that criticism.
To harass a woman while she holds
Just
her
don't
child.
touch me, all right, pal? Well, we know where Katie Wilson stands now. All right, so
she didn't want to answer that question. And what's interesting now on these campaigns is she's holding her child. Nobody wants to interview her child, but it's kind of being used as protection from the media. That's an interesting strategy that's happening now.